Okay, so you might be looking to move to El Dorado Hills and you've seen the areas, you've seen the neighborhoods, but now you're wondering how the market's doing. I'm gonna take you again through my computer and show you exactly what El Dorado Hills is doing right now today in the market. So taking a look at the averages, it is leaning a little bit towards the seller's market still. Median list price is $1,075,000. Median price of new listings is $855,000. Average days on market is about 102 days, so it does take a little over 3 months for properties to sell right now, whether you're a seller or you're a buyer maybe looking to submit an offer below list price. 21% of listings have had a price decrease, and then 19% have either come off the market for some reason and then relisted. Median rent for the area, if looking at apartments or homes, median rent is at $39.50. That's just a nice little snapshot as of March 3rd, 2026. Kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what's happening in the area. Now, if you're an analytical like me, looking at a little bit more specific, January 2026 was a neutral market. This is always about a month behind from when it reports, but number for sale listings was up 8.9% from 1 year earlier and up 27.1% from the previous month. Number of sold listings increased 7.1% year over year and decreased 37.5% month over month. Number of under contract listings that actually went pending, it actually went up 44.8% compared to the previous month. That can also be time of year, kind of January looking after the holidays, but also down 6.7% compared to last January. Months of inventory based on closed sales was 4.1, which we'll get down to in the very end. But overall, it was a neutral market. The months of inventory here kind of shows you what it's doing. So when it's a buyer's market, there tends to be more than 6 months of inventory. Seller's market means less than 3 months, and then kind of a neutral is anywhere between 3 to 6. This is kind of good for both buyers and sellers. Buyers have a few opportunities right now. You can get a home below list price with discounts, closing costs paid for, lower interest rates perhaps, paid for by the seller for a rate buy down. And also if you're a seller, it's not a horrible time to sell either. The right property priced at the right price, the right property with the right price does still see multiple offers the first weekend. It just depends on location, price, and condition. Now scrolling back up, you can see the light green bar is everything that is for sale month by month. So this kind of breaks down the last 12 months. The dark green is all the inventory that sold in the last year, and then the red is everything that went pending. So you can kind of see that the inventory always drops off kind of in the winter. So here's December of last year, as well as December of 2024, as well as December of 2025. The inventory kind of ramps up through the spring, kind of peaks in the summer. So here's May, June, July, and then kind of starts tapering off for the fall. The sold listings somewhat follow that as well, although not always consistent. Some months or end of summer can sometimes be a better time to sell. But you definitely have a little bit more inventory as a buyer to look through here and kind of be picky for what you're looking for. The average sold price per square foot was neutral. So again, looking back at the 12 months, here's kind of the seasonal changes, if you will. Kind of came down going into Thanksgiving, was actually higher in December, and in January was at $363 per square foot. Now that does factor in the entire range, no price limit, so smaller 55 and up community homes as well as large custom homes. So there's a range in there depending on what you're looking for. Now the days on market did show an upward trend, so here's how long it takes a home to go pending. Kind of ramps up through the fall and through the winter as expected, although not every home just sits. And then it kind of actually peaked in January, so we'll see what February reports from there. This is the percentage of the original list price compared to the actual sale price. So it looks like it kind of is all ranged in the 90s, so nothing too crazy low. but kind of averaging 95%, 94, 96, and then back down to 94 most recently. Now the average for sale price, so the list price, was 1.6 for our area. That's up 6.9% from 1,512,000 in last January and down 3.5% from last month. Average sold price was as well neutral, which was 1,085,000, down 1.5% from 1.1 in January of last year. Median sold price was neutral as well at 983. And then here's a graph that kind of shows you the average sold price compared to the average for sale price. Now looking at the current inventory, currently in El Dorado Hills as of today, there are 133 active listings. They all range in different price points. So here's $487 for a 55 and up active adult community. And then I think the highest price listing right now in our area is actually at 8.9 million, which is a large older custom estate. And then some homes in the Serrano community at 4.2, almost 5 million. But a lot of these homes are very big. This one's over 9,000 square feet over in Califia. And then here's actually a beautiful modern home that I'm sitting here right now filming this. This is a beautiful custom estate, super modern, iconic modern home in Serrano near the country club. It's just absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous. There are currently 49 homes that are pending within the El Dorado Hills area. Okay, so now looking at all the active pending and sold in the last 6 months. So it looks like average days on market right here, about 83 days for everything currently active. Again, this ranges in all different price points. It just depends on what you're looking for. For everything that's pending, it was about 63 days on market most recently for current pending. So those will most likely be closings later this month, depending on when they went pending. And then looking back to September, so everything for the last 6 months, it took about 80 days to go pending. The average sold price in all of El Dorado Hills for all price points in the last 6 months has been $1,046,500 and about 98% of list price. So whether you're a buyer or a seller, when I get the question, how's the market? I would say, well, it depends. It kind of can be hot and cold at the same time. I would say buyers, you have more options, more time to look without feeling rushed. However, like I mentioned previously, for the right property in the right condition and at the right price, it can still go pending first weekend with multiple offers. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, I would love to be your resource. If you would like any specific numbers on a neighborhood, a price point, a size of home, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to privately run those numbers for you and get you the data you need. My name's Tiegen, local real estate agent here in the area, and I look forward to connecting. Take care. Bye.